Welcome to Investing in Comic Books. I'm Terry Hoknes, and check out our series of books about investing in comic books and the history behind them at our website, hawknescomics.com. Today we are going to look at Young Men number 24 from Atlas Comics, published in 1953. This is one of the most unique books of the 50s, as you may know that in modern terms, Marvel Comics publishes probably 100 superhero comics every single month. But during the 1950s, Marvel was not into superhero comics at all. In fact, in the entire decade, they probably published less than 24. And I'm not talking about 24 different titles. I'm talking about 24 comics, period. And one of them is Young Men number 24. Now, this book is unique for a number of reasons. It brings back Captain America, Bucky, the Submariner, and the Human Torch all into one book. All three of the most popular and important, timely characters of the 1940s Golden Age era. But by the early 50s, all of these characters were not being published anymore, but they all returned in this very same comic book. Now, some people believe this could be considered the first Silver Age comic book because it brought back some superheroes. It could be the first Silver Age Marvel comic. But most people don't go with that because it's just a short-lived series which unfortunately did not revive the Silver Age. So, already we have a unique book. Three important characters. This book is drawn by Russ Heath, John Romita Sr., and Bill Everett, three classic artists of that time period. And the cover is credited to Carl Burgos. This is the number one most valuable Atlas comic from 1953, and the number one most valuable comic of any publisher from that year, the ninth most valuable timely Atlas comic of the entire Atomic Age decade. Now, people do realize this book is important, which is why it holds those records, but we're going to find out if it's actually, worth the money to invest in. So looking at the CGC census, 25 copies in total have been graded in all conditions, with only one copy graded 9.0 or better. Heritage has only sold roughly one copy a year of this book. This book does not turn up very much. It is a rare book. High grade, well, one copy, and 9.0 isn't super high grade either. So copies of this book just don't seem to exist. This book came out just before the Comics Code had all its problems with censorship. And of course, the comic book revival from Atlas did not last very long, but this was the first issue with the superheroes. Looking at the Overstreet Price guide for the last 5 years, we'll see that it's been making slow but steady growth in the 9.2 condition. On average, goes up $200 a year. That's also helped the 9.0, which has gone up almost $800 in 5 years. And in fact, all conditions have gone up, but of course the lower grade we get, the smaller the jump. So that's good to see, but you'll notice in the lower grades, for 4 years straight, it had stalled. So only finally this year did it have a little bit of movement, which was nice. Looking at Heritage best sales, best sale they've ever had is for a 7. And that was in 2007, sold for $2,200. Now, when that sale occurred, the book was worth $900 and fine, so we're going to say about $1,300 for that exact grade. So the book sold for not quite double of guide. And also in 2008, a fine minus copy 5.5 sold for almost $1,000, and I'm the person who bought that. One of my favorite books because I find it so unique. And at that time, you can see I paid $956 for it 5 years ago. And at that time, its guide value was about $750. So again, above guide. We've also had some restored copies that have sold. And looking at the CGC census overall, there's only one 9.0, only one 8.0, and only two 7.0s. So even to have one of the 10 best copies in the world graded, that's already going to bring you down to basically a 5.0, which is not really anything to brag about, but in this case, it's such a rare book, that's one of the best copies. So, what do we learn about this book? It really is a unique book. It's rare. It's an obscure book, even though it's a superhero title. It could have done big wonders, but people at that time just didn't want to read these superhero comics that had been forgotten from the golden age. But it does feature 3 classic characters, and it features the art of 4 famous artists of the period, and it is one of the most valuable comics of this time period. So it's got a lot going for it. In all grades, the book has gone up, though in lower grades it's been pretty small due to a stall for the 4 years. So what do I think? Well, in high grade, I definitely recommend it, because as you can see, there simply are no 9.2s or over. So of course, if you can find one, I recommend you picking it up. You'll have the only copy in existence. Again, 8s and 9s, definitely I would recommend. 6 or lower, to make money on, not really happening. But classic book nonetheless. If you want to own a unique superhero book, hard to find, then this is one of the coolest ones to talk about to own in your collection. If you'd like to read about other books in this series, or any other title from the gold, silver, or bronze eras, check out our series of books, Investing in Comics, at our website, hawknescomics.com. I'm Terry Hoknes. If you'd like to see a video about any of your favorite comics, please contact me at hawknes@hotmail.com. Thanks for watching.